Hello, book people. P.T. Hilton here. I want to talk to you today about the novel Horrorstor by Grady Hendrix. This is a crazy book. It's a very interesting book. It's the story of a young woman who works at this store called Orsk, which is basically a version of IKEA. She doesn't have a lot going for her in her life. She's kind of behind on the rent, about to get kicked out of her apartment. She's not doing even as well at this retail job that she doesn't like as she'd like to. She recently took the pre-test to get into the management program. It's a test that everyone always jokes around how simple and easy it is, and she failed that test. So not a lot of great stuff is going on in her life. She has a lot of problems. Basically, in the store, there has been a lot of weird stuff going on. A lot of stuff's broken when they come in the mornings, so they suspect that someone's breaking in at night and messing with the furniture and messing with the store. So the assistant store manager recruits Amy and a couple others to basically work an overnight shift, and they're going to stay there all night, and they're going to try and catch whoever's breaking in and figure out how they're doing it. And the story builds from there, and of course, it turns out that there are some supernatural occurrences going on in the store. So first of all, let's talk about the book itself. Very beautifully laid out. If you read this book, this is definitely worth getting in physical form. It's kind of set up almost like an IKEA type catalog. So it's got the cover, and then the back cover is a similar thing, but like a more horror scenario. But anyway, on the inside cover, you've got like a map of the store in here. It's very cool. Each chapter is named after like one of the products that they sell, one of the pieces of furniture, and you can see like a little bit of a description in there about it. And that at first it seems kind of random, but then as the story progresses, that kind of becomes a little more relevant to the story. This is a great book because, first of all, it's so funny at the beginning. It's like such a parody of an IKEA-like store and just what it's like to work retail and what it's like to be a customer in these kind of like big box type stores. So that's great. Very funny, very witty stuff. But then what's really impressive is it takes a turn, and as things begin to get more serious, it becomes truly scary. Like, I expected this book to be funny with maybe some little scares in it, but it becomes pretty scary later on. It's really interesting and pretty impressive trick, the way it turns itself from like parody to genuinely frightening book. This is really a book about Amy. The rest of the characters are kind of periphery, but the villains that end up showing up in this book when they kind of figure out what's going on in the store are really interesting and really creepy, and there's a lot of interesting scares and interesting stuff like that. I think this would be a great movie. I'm sure that someone will probably make a movie of this at some point because it's all one location, so it would be fairly inexpensive to film, I would think. So yeah, I can look forward to seeing that in the multiplexes someday, I would assume. So if you're looking for a book that has an interesting tone, a funny tone, but then also delivers on the scares, I recommend Horrorstor. I think you'd like it a lot. So that's Horrorstor. If you have read it, I'd love to hear what you thought about it. That'll do it for me this time. Talk to you later. Bye.